diction.
Un vulcano la mia mente, già comincia a diventarsi.
How does it work? Very quickly. Certain things of the opera singer's jargon are beyond my comprehension or possibly anybody's comprehension, and they have gone in style for some reason, but I'm here to discuss whether that's appropriate or useful or it makes any sense at all or not. The piece of operatic jargon I'm going to discuss today is the usage. Extremely common. Actually, I can no longer hear anything different on the current stages from any part of the world. So the usage of sticking aitches in between the 16ths while singing certain repertoire, especially the bel canto repertoire and especially the Rossini bel canto repertoire. So whenever you have for some reason it should be better for you to go ha 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 ha. Imagine that. Where do I start? I mean, why doesn't it make sense? Where do I even begin to explain why it doesn't make sense? Because it makes you waste a lot of breath, because it makes you displace the sound, because it doesn't make the ornament or the scale or the group of four or whatever it is that you're doing, the cadenza, clearer at all, and instead it makes it more blurry because the H is some sort of steam that you give to the vowel, so its purpose is, if something, to make the sound more fluffy and floating, not at all sharper. So if you want to be sharper, why would you put H's in between sounds when you are singing? Say that I am Figaro and I have to go d'ardore insolito, quest'alma accende, is it so? Yes, e di me stesso maggior mi fa, and instead of going as it would be, reasonable and written, by the way, d'ardore insolito, quest'alma accende. I'm almost singing it and I'm just picking it and I'm just saying all of the vowels, but for some reason it should be better or clearer or sharper or more appreciated if I did da, do, re, so. I'll do it again. Da, do, re, solito, quest'alma accende. I have no idea how they do it. They should get a medal at the end of the opera. Someone should get on stage and award them a medal because they get to the end of the opera alive, not with an emphysema or hyperventilating or something. Can you imagine a bass player that slaps all this way through a Rossini opera with, 3 arias and 10 scenes or something, slapped all the way? Can you imagine his fingertips? How would they look at the end of the opera? That's the same thing that happens to your vocal cords, because when you go ha 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 ha, cords have to do this every time, and when air passes through the cords without them being adopted, ha, that's very dangerous because they go like this. Okay? And it's blister first, and then callo, what is the word in English? And then surgery. So, I'm just saying, beware the H's. By the way, I am a classically trained singer, but I haven't been singing in the last few years professionally because I have turned into a coach. I'm working a lot as a coach. I'm also graduating in composition, so I don't have that much time. Still, I found out that since I am teaching diction more and more, even if I don't sing, my voice is always kind of in good shape. And whenever I have to give an example to a student, it comes right out because my attention and my focus immediately goes to the diction. So for some reason, independently from the register, because I immediately relate to my spoken voice. Who follows my videos knows that when I say spoken voice, I don't mean something different than my sung voice. Spoken voice and some sung voice are exactly the same. They are produced exactly the same way. There is no difference whatsoever. Only you think about something different before you produce the sound. This activity of the two hemispheres, the left brain, which produces language, and the right brain, which produces and listens to sound, to color, and stuff like that. Singing is mental. The only thing that you have to do physically is support your singing, but singing is mental. So back to the main topic. Same rule, Figaro. Ha ha da ridere, ha ha da ridere. Sto per crepare. Figaro there is laughing, so the H is actually written, and Rossini uses that written H to stress, to give an accent. Ha ha dal ridere, sto per crepare. He's actually saying I am dying laughing, I am about to die, so hard I'm laughing, and so Rossini goes ha ha, and he writes the H, he puts the H. But in a l'ardore insolito, he doesn't. Yet he wants the groups of 4/16 to be extremely clear. How do you do that? With diction, not physical diction, because diction is not physical, with mental diction. So it's sufficient that you make correspond to each little ball one vowel in your mind, so it has to be da a ardo o re so o li ito, and you will get it d'ardore insolito, d'ardore insolito.
D'ardore insolito questa m'attende, mi mesce a giorni fa.
And doing it with your brain is the only way not to compromise the emission. It's kind of intuitive, and you can do it in pretty much any register. I'm making up the notes, but as long as all of the vowels are there. Dunque io sono, non mi inganni, la or if I have to go ba le ba le una no rapido la sorte mia. Even trills, there is a technique, okay, of to let the trill go, but in fact the only thing that can make it clearer is the diction, is really think the only real secret to master the agilities is to perfectly match the diction of the vowel corresponding to each and every one and every note with a certain degree of anticipation. So of course I don't have to be into it, and having to put H's in between means to not to be able to think in advance and I don't know how they do it. I don't even know how they actually get to do it. Ok, Almaviva. Egual, nona. Okay? Of course you have to sing, and you can do that mentally. If you think really not with your throat, with your mind, You've done it. Anything. Yeah. It's not D flat. Oh my god, then I have to match an A, then I have to support. No, it very useful, for example, when you have to do chromatic scales, wherever you start from, whatever. If there is one purpose of the vocalizzo, that purpose is to make vowels, to learn how to make vowels without compromising the emission, without compromising the instrument, without compromising the relaxedness, is that even a word, of your instrument, and making very, very, very fast vowels with your mind. Anticipate them and place them with the same natural approach that you have when you are, guess what, speaking. And speaking may never mean in your mind doing something more in your throat than singing. Basically, in opera and in singing, the only vowels allowed are the Italian ones. We sing pretty much any repertoire, with just a few exceptions, on the 7 Italian vowels, A, E, I, O, U, plus the 8th vowel, the bonus of the schwa, the that we use in Italian too, although it doesn't have, shamefully enough, no longer, not anymore, a written correspective. So really the only thing you have to do when you're singing is to match every note with a vowel. That's really it. Tu solo amor tu sei che mi devi consolar. When you have the pitch right, when you will have learned the notes, you will just match one note, one vowel, and the same be said for mordenti, for trills, for gruppetti, for and literally any ornamentation. One note, one vowel. Know all of the vowels, know exactly which vowel corresponds to each note of the ornamentation, and you're fine. Ciao. And one more thing, remember that opera is something that was created because of the existence of the Italian language and with those very peculiar ingredients that are the Italian vowels and consonants. So make sure that those ingredients are right. Otherwise, what you're singing will have with the actual stuff the same difference that the actual Venice bears with the Las Vegas Venice. It's really important that you make sure that you have those primary instruments right in your ears in order to, have a final result. Otherwise, you will, profuse a lot of efforts that will never be rewarded with a proper result. And credit your coaches, people, because learning to sing a historic repertoire such the operatic is a matter of school, and each one of you, if they're lucky enough to have a good coach, a good teacher, should be kind of proud of their inheritance. If it's a good inheritance. School in classical music is everything, literally everything. So get a good coach, get the right ingredients to, cook your pieces, and credit the school you belong to.